like I say, a lot of people were just assuming that because nothing happened to them while they were doing all these things and blah 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 that therefore, i.e., whatever, you know. Like I said, but then again, they didn't know about the previous whatever. So anyway, and they didn't know that I had simply said or simply ordered that just to wait until he died and then deal with those people. So anyway. So, like I say, Rodney and a bunch of other people were like, "Well, if it was real, then we wouldn't be here," like getting the first guy to shoot someone or something like that, or rape someone or something. I don't know. I said, I don't know. You know. So anyway, though, but the world should know basically pretty much what was happening, why, and what, and where, and realistically, everyone had to deal with it anyway. But and for a while there was just different degrees of stolen, killed, raped, and lied, you know, and thinking that they got away with it, never decreasing, whatever. Like I say, the one thing I was worried about is I had people actually being good and actually taking care of those really bad people, and I was worried about them because technically, they had killed like 100 or 50 people, and so I was trying to straighten it out. Like I say, like the Irish people, they were simply just dealing with the problem and helping me, so and working for me and being paid rather well. So good Irish workers. So anyway, which I hope lived quite well and happy. So anyway, yeah, everyone had their different ideas or whatever. But like I say, anyway. So that's your last 1,000 years or 100 years, and different groups and different people who all thought they got away with it. And it's like, well, anyway, there's a few things about space and time and everything that most people didn't know. So, and I'm not gonna say. Anyway. So for years and years and years and years and years, these people have just been doing blah blah blah, and generally actually just ever decreasing degrees or whatever. Like I said, I actually surmise that basically maybe after hundreds of trillions of years of just living and existing and running around the planet like they own the place or whatever, that they just simply gotten bored, and just started going out further and further and further and what they could do, and just leading to ever just like why not kill lots of people? I don't know. Like I said, I wondered about it. Yeah, like I say, I mean, there is no one older. There was no one more powerful than me. And I could have taken care of it. At one point in time, I did say to just take care of it and deal with it. And some people were dealing with it, some life forms. Actually, that's the thing, is everyone always assumed that that people would be coming for them. Well, if he sends someone, he's going to be sending humans and people, and we'll be in position, blah, 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 blah. It's like, actually, no. Of 12 life form types or 12 races, I could have asked. And I generally did just use exoskeletons. I was mostly with them and other things. And other people are like, oh, Brian, oh, you're lying, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, 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 no. Where do you think all that comes from? God will judge, God will do this, God will do that, blah, blah. Well, they were trying to reinforce God and the religion and the church and the Pope being in power and trying to do a little power thing there. But what they really meant was the Creator will judge, the Creator will whatever. And they're actually talking about stuff I did 50 trillion years ago or 40 trillion years ago. Like I said, Nixon and the church and a lot of people had this whole thing of there will be a great flood. There will be a war long before there was a war, and then they would start a war and do a war, and then look, oh, it's the enlightened one, and it's basically Jimmy Carter, and Jimmy Carter was pointing to, or saying, yes, the enlightened one, this little kid, this little blonde-haired kid, and basically they're talking about JFK or whatever. Like I said, the black people, the church, and a bunch of other people put all their effort into like JFK. He was like sanctified by the church and stuff like that, and this and that. And you had Dr. Richard Nixon with a degree in psychology and parapsychology, working like, Anyway, like I said, it's almost hilarious and funny how the country of Cairo was trying to get was I had people going from the country of Cairo to go see if they could retrieve the Maltese falcon and stuff, and because they were very dangerous to everyone that they were around, and also to the people who had them. They're highly, like, 4 of them or 5 of them were highly radioactive. Not just pretty to look at, but you couldn't tell. I mean, it looks fine. It looks fine. Yeah, I mean, because it's made of thorium and uranium, and highly radioactive. You know, like an isotope. You can just put it out in front of you, and you can look at it, touch it, hold it, whatever. You know. So anyway, yeah. Yeah, like I said, the first encounter or whatever that the public or the human race had with radiation and stuff like that, they would just put it on the desk and they'd be like, "Yeah, I don't feel good when I'm in this room. I don't know why." Like I said, it wasn't until the Germans came along, my scientists came along, that they're like, "Oh wow, yeah, that'd probably be why you don't feel good." They just thought maybe some mold in the rafters or something like that, or oh yeah, you know, and they're all suffering from radiation poisoning. Like I said, one time they tracked the item. Like the guy left the place with a highly reactive sample, opened it up in his car, drove to a hotel, blah 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 blah, and then drove a little further. And like was leaving, everything he came in contact with was around. The car was highly reactive. The hotel was highly reactive. You know, you could just tell where it had been. Practically, like drawing a line on a map. And the scientists just simply used a Geiger counter or something like that to track it down. And I think I don't know if they found him dead or what, but I think they found him dead in his car. I'm not exactly sure. There's a bunch of supposed agents. Yeah, the agents are agents that are going to go get it. Yeah. This is all related to Richard Nixon and JFK and stuff like that. So, when you find out about what is national security and top secret, and yeah, the thing with Cairo, I mean, it's just like, wow, yeah. Well, they're on drugs. They're 20, 15, 18. I mean, dreams of glory. How they're going to get so far and do so much. Anyway. I suppose it's one of those oddities of space or time or whatever. But since you don't know what the deal was with Cairo and the Maltese Falcon, and how the country of Cairo was trying to get back the Maltese Falcon because it was highly reactive, and sending people to go get it, and they made the movie about and anyway, yeah. And the movie was half finished or something like that. Like I think they died of radiation poisoning, the original people that were around it. People died like flies around. So some people might say that too. I don't know. They should just be honest, like how people died like flies around JFK and Nixon. He wasn't saying them to their death or saying them to go do something really stupid, like, yeah. Anyway, he didn't care though. I don't think he had no regard. No, yeah. That's why they have general no regard, which basically meant he just didn't care about anything. And they think it's cute to call him General No Regard, or because he didn't care about anything or anyone. Anyway, they just put a bunch of people in the positions, and then a bunch of blah blah, and then you have all these people just running around, and like some people would say, and the funny thing is, they're all supposed to be dead right now. It's like, yeah, well, this is in the middle of my vacation. Just like Putin. I believe that one of the assassination attempts he's talking about is when this guy was in an unrelated hotel or something like that, and the police were tracking down him or whatever. And he had just been going around with this remote, and he would show the people the bomb in his car, and then he'd be like, "If I go, we all go." you know, and most people were just letting him leave the town or whatever, and you know, and then he was just driving around like that. You know, if anyone moves, if anyone arrests me, I'll hit the button. You know, and then he went. One day he finally, you know, they were taking him down. And he went click and pushed it or something like that, and the people were like, it should have gone off. So anyway, though, but some of his friends or some of the other people with him were going to, um, you know, disable it or something like that, sneak over there. So anyway, I don't know. I don't care. Like, there's all these people taking apart nuclear bombs and then, you know, exposing themselves to massive amounts of radiation, being like, I'm fine, it's fine. I don't really know. Like, I mean, you might, I don't know. It's, I've seen a lot of radiation sick people and stuff like that. But some people are saying it's a myth, it's a myth, you're fine, radiation won't affect you. It's like, well, not right away. It takes years, and the scientific fact or the scientific data is that yeah, the Curies, everyone who ever touched radiation or was around radioactive isotopes, they were fine for about 15 to 20 years or 35 years, but they all eventually had symptoms, and generally their immune systems would go away at some point. Their immune systems would simply stop working, basically for some reason or whatever. You know, like it's somewhere around above or below sterility or something that has long-term immune system effects or bone marrow effects. I don't really know. So yeah, so generally with even a substantial dose of radiation or something like that, I don't really know. Like I said, I don't know. But yeah, and but like I say, Nixon, JFK, and a bunch of other people were just trying to rush it, trying to get it done in their lifetime or whatever. You know, it's basically meant that they were rushing into basically trying to get, you know, this and that, and trying to do it fast, which is not the best way to do it. So, like I said, Nixon had like 150 years, or JFK had 150 years about, I think, I estimated. Shrug, it's not that much time, really. To live forever. Or whatever. Anyway, like I said, I don't care, I don't know. You know, I spent like 150 million years in space a few times, more than a few times. So, anyway, oh well. Yeah, but if you children want to know what was going on, what happened, why, you know, who were the agents, the men in black, or whatever, I don't know. And I think maybe it might be summed up inside the Nazi Revolution stuff or whatever. Anyway. Some people are like, I feel sorry for him, I feel sorry for him. I was like, I lived on 99 trillion years and went to space, went around space, and was basically the one who defined your existence. I don't know if you can particularly call that, you know, being in a bad way. So, like, all the films are related to me. Everything else that you didn't know about is related to other people. So, and like I said, Nixon, JFK, and a bunch of other people didn't want anybody to know about what was going on or what was happening. So, they were doing all the secret stuff. And, like, all the films were like, you know, I'd be doing whatever, blah, blah, and I'd be like, make a film. We need to make a film. We need to take pictures of everyone. So, anyway, I was trying to get other stuff documented and put to photograph. So, anyway, I make these videos so you can know basically what happened, why it's happening, what happened, and what the deal was with Cairo and everything else like that. And some idea of what's going on in the world and the universe.